Good afternoon and welcome back to Cigar Smoke UK. Today I'm going to smoke this, which is the Ramon Allones No. 3. Let's hear that review. Well, welcome. Today I'm going to look at doing a cigar review and I'm going to review this. This is the Ramon Allones No. 3. This is a cigar that has only been released about 12 months. It was about the 18th of April last year from what I could read online. And there hadn't been really any new additions other than limited editions and regionals to Ramon Allones for quite a long time. You've obviously got the specially selected, the small club Corona, the Gigantes, which I think they might have discontinued, I can't remember. But yeah, not many. So this is another edition. And as usual, it's another fat boy. You know, it's a big ring gauge cigar. Let me have a look at statistics. It is a 5 5/8 in length and a 52 ring gauge. That is a big cigar. The size is, I have to read this one, Nobleza. Apparently it's only 3mm more than the Edmundo. So, yeah, very similar. If you like the Edmundo, you're probably going to like this size of cigar. It's only appeared once before as the Partagas Series No. 1 from 2017, which was a limited edition release. This is a full-bodied cigar. Ramon Allones are known for their full-bodied cigars. They're big punch of flavour. You know, it's really going to whack you around the chops with some full-bodied flavour there. But on the whole, I think this is one of the more sort of like underrated, not underrated brands, but brands you have to discover. So when you start smoking Cuban cigars, you might not know about these. You might have heard of Romeo and Juliet, Monte Cristo, and then all of a sudden you'll discover Ramon Allones, and they are widely loved by the cigar community. Very beautiful cigars. The Ras, especially the specially selected, is a beautiful cigar. Beautiful cigar. How much is one of these bad boys going to set you back? Hang on, let me just check my notes. So weirdly, I found them on Cigar, £53, but then I found them at Fox's for $38.50. My Smoking Shop for $34.35. So they are between £34 and £38 in the UK currently, and this is 2024. God knows what they'll be in another 4 years' time. Probably about 100 quid, knowing the way things are going. So I don't know why Cigars was so out of kilter with everyone else. Boxes are 10. If you're buying from abroad, you're probably going to be able to pick them up a lot cheaper than that. There, I think I saw Swiss sites were advertising them for about 17 to 20 euros, or sorry, 20 Swiss francs or euros. I can't remember. I skimmed those ones, I'm afraid. That's my fault. So there you go. It looks a beautiful looking cigar. Picked this one up in what is now Havana House, but it was White's at the time, so I bought this from Chris Sharp, who no longer works there. I think it was about £34. Oh, actually Andy Grice got convinced me to pick one of these up. It's still quite young, so this is going to have what, a year on it. So we'll hopefully, I don't know what the age box was on this one, but as the release date was last year, you'd hope maybe that the rolling is, I don't know, 2022, who knows. So there we go. Right, it's enough rabbiting. Let's light this sucker up and see how it goes. Back in a tick. So we're back. I have lit the cigar because it's so bright. I struggled to see the end of the flame, so I may have scorched it a little bit on the wrapper. Hopefully it's not too bad, but it's nice already, I have to say. The draw on this, Cubans often suffer from poor draw, but this, spot on. You can tell it's a full-bodied cigar. The flavour profile is coffee and those kind of dark notes that you get when you light up most cigars first time. A little bit woody, but not too much. But I'm anticipating this is going to change a fair bit as we smoke it. On the retro hail, it's like almost like a little spice note. I'm gonna say like nutmeg or something like that. Just push it in there. So, it's very pleasant straight away. It's not too bitter. Sometimes you can get quite an acrid taste, especially from young cigars on your first sort of like smoke of them, but not this one. Intensely smooth, definitely something like spiced hot chocolate going on there, but yeah, not bad. Sun's come out. What more could I ask for? I'm not drinking. I've had 3 coffees already this morning, so I'm not having a coffee with it. I'm just gonna have water with this cigar. I'm gonna smoke a good chunk of this, and then we'll come back and see how we're faring with the review. But first impressions are good. Anyway, back shortly. Welcome back. I've smoked about a third so far, and it is very much, there's a big coffee note running through this. You normally find that with full-bodied cigars. Those are the kind of flavour profiles that you get, either coffee or quite earthy or dark chocolate. There's a little bit of dried fruit. I was expecting it, and then it just kind of like, it started to come into this next third. So I'm hoping that's going to open up a little bit more. But at the moment, I've had a little bit of uneven burn, but I think that was more to do with me lighting the cigar. But it's been very pleasant, I have to say, so far. It's smoking quite quickly because the draw is very good. And I think, yeah, I don't think this is going to take me from, like I said, 45 minutes to 60 minutes. I think this is going to take me about 45 minutes to smoke because it's so open. It's not a wind tunnel, but it is quite easy to smoke. And with it being a lovely day, I'm just enjoying myself. So I'll smoke, I'll come back towards the end and I'll let you know how it's going. Back in a bit. Right, I'm right down the end into the final third. I can truly say this has been very pleasurable to smoke. A lot of the time with new cigars, you tend to find that they're not quite at their sweet spot when they're this young. But actually, as this was only released 12 months ago, I think it's already a good cigar. Would you pick this over a Ras? I think that is going to come down to personal preference. You either like the slightly smaller cigar of the Ras, or you want a bigger cigar to smoke. This is going to give you a longer smoking time potentially, and that enjoyment that a bigger ring gauge can give you. It just depends. And again, I think it's personal preference. I would pick this over an Edmundo, but that's my personal preference. I tend to favour Ramon Allones Partagas over Monte Cristo. I have been more swayed towards Monte Cristo as my palate has developed. I didn't really like them at one point, but I think I'd still go for this. Would I go into a cigar shop in London, say Fox's, pick one of these up and smoke it there? Yes, absolutely. I think 34 to 38 pounds. I think given the current climate for cigars, that's okay. I probably wouldn't have said that 5 years ago. I would have said 20 pounds would be about where I'd expect this. But we live in a different world now, and Cuban cigars are what they are. What you get is that beautiful Cuban flavour that you just don't get with other cigars. I know there are a lot of people who say that's fantasy. I myself can taste it. I can tell that it's there. This has been very nice. Very much the coffee, the dark fruits has come through. Almost like Christmas cake without the icing. And that's how I would describe it. Christmas cake and a cup of coffee. You would probably pair this well with coffee, would go really nicely with it. And something very highly sweet to eat maybe. Certainly this would be good after a big meal. I think you could easily enjoy this after you've had quite a large meal. The question is, do you buy a single or would you buy a box? Would I go and spend £350 on a box of these? I'm not sure. But the fact that they come in at 10 and you got to buy 25 Ras might sway me towards this if my budget was the issue. Obviously you could buy a cab of 50 Ras and that would be that, but I think this is a different kind of cigar. So Ramon Allones number 3. Definitely one to try. Pick it up, you might like it. If you like the Ras, you're probably going to enjoy this. If you like something a bit milder, say you're really into Hoy de Monterey, probably not ready for you. You might not like this as much, but definitely one to pop on your list to try and have one of. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy finishing this off and enjoy the rest of the sun before the big cloud comes and hides it all away. I hope whatever you're doing, you're having a lovely day and that you enjoy what you are smoking. Take care and stay smoky, people. Bye bye.